Hello everybody and welcome back to Crochet College. My name is Mia and in today's video we will be diving into this Heal the Wool from Wool and the Gang. This yarn is a 100% recycled product and I am so excited to try it out. This yarn was a part of a larger order that I had done from Wool and the Gang. It was the first time I ever ordered from them and I recorded my initial reaction to going through each of the yarns in the order. If you'd like to see that video, I'll leave the link in the description box down below. In this giant ball of yarn, I have 200 grams totaling in 87 yards, which this is a pretty big, bulky thing. I hope you guys can see the difference between how large it is versus my hand size. And I love that. I love when chunky yarn comes in a big ball as opposed to coming in this tiny little thing, because you need a decent amount of yarn to make anything. So I got it in the color Dove Gray. There were other colors available, but this was the one I chose. The yarn itself is a little bit scratchy, I'm not gonna lie. It isn't something that I would want close to my skin for a long period of time, but it does have a beautiful shiny finish on it, which I think is important to note because you can use this to make some beautiful decor items, which is probably what I'm going to do. The one thing I keep noticing about Wool and the Gang's yarn is most of it is geared towards knitters. It appears that that is their target market. I would love for Wool and the Gang to want to market more towards us crocheters because we use yarn too. And when I purchase these products, I really have no idea for what they're thinking the finished project should be worked up as. I see a 12mm knitting needle, but I can't really go by that size because the crochet stitches and the knitting stitches are so different. That said, I didn't want to go in with such a big hook, and I don't think I have a 12mm crochet hook. The biggest one I have is a 10. So I've worked up a small swatch of this in a 10mm crochet hook, which we'll check out in a minute. Before we do that, I want to look at these wash instructions. So this yarn was made in Peru, and they recommend that you hand wash it on cold, under 30 degrees. That's probably due to the loose spinning that this yarn has on it. It's almost like a roving style yarn was taken and folded over on itself and then spun into two, which gives it that beautiful, I think that's called an S spin. That's what I'm going to call it. It looks like an S. But you can't really achieve that without spinning twice together, and I like that they did it with a roving yarn because it makes this nice, natural looking, beautiful, almost rope-like effect. So, all in all, this ball gave me some really good first impressions and got me excited to work on some projects. So let's look at how it worked up with a 10mm crochet hook. So I used a 10mm crochet hook to create a roughly 4" by 4" square, and to do that it took me 6 stitches across and 6 rows of single crochet. Personally, I never use chunky yarn like this to create any loose fabrics. I always make something stiff, like a basket, a pillow, something I don't want any big holes. So for those reasons, the next time I use it, I'm definitely going to go down a hook size, maybe even all the way down to a 6.5 or a 7mm crochet hook, so I can get a nice structured, beautiful fabric. Now that I know how I'm going to use this yarn, I also want to point out another way that I can use it. In addition to crocheting with a structured feel, I loved that when I cut the tails, I could easily unspin the yarn and create this beautiful hair. It's hair. So I can use this on, in the winter season, I like to make gnomes. So I could easily create beautiful beards on my gnomes or hair with this fiber. Normally I would have to like brush it out with a pet comb, but with this I can just make a little mustache, no problem. So I think it's a cute way of me being able to easily add a natural hair right onto my little stuffed guys. So I'm already excited to use this yarn. I know a few ways that I'm going to use it, and I think I'm ready to give this yarn a rating. I love the fact that this yarn is 100% recycled. I also love how versatile it is. It's a little scratchy, and I'm pretty sensitive to that scratchy feeling on my skin, so for those reasons I will not be creating a wearable out of it, but I don't think it's impossible. I think if you're comfortable with it being a little bit a little bit scratchy on your skin. It's not too bad, it's just not for me. You could easily create a beautiful thick chunky hat or a thick chunky scarf. Or maybe even, I've seen some amazing artists on Instagram creating like chunky tops and sweaters. And for some people that really works. And I think this yarn could do that easily and be recycled at the same time. Also, I love how shiny and shimmery it is. I'm personally probably going to use this yarn to make some throw pillows, and any scraps I have left over are going to be used to make hair on some of my cute little dolls. For all of those reasons, I am going to give this yarn a 9 out of 10. I think they hit it right on the head. They have a beautiful chunky yarn that was created with 100% recycled wool. I am definitely going to purchase this yarn again, and I am excited to have it as a staple in my craft room. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you'll be one of the first to know when I come out with a new video, tutorial, or pattern. As always, thank you guys for crocheting with me, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.